Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, some time of day, and welcome to England. This is from the top of Beeston Castle. It's a ruin, and I tell you, if you're ever going to invade this castle, oh, you see down that hill, you'd be tuckered out by the time you got here. This was what I chose for our first visit to the UK. I feel like I should have trained for this moment. Anyways, we're here, finally. We had a bit of a fiasco in the airport this morning. We left about 4:30 in the morning. We got up and headed to the airport. Thought we'd be way early, get a bit of breakfast, you know, relax, get on the plane, get a car, and be somewhere, you know, beautiful, sipping beers by now. But no, it actually took us 3.5 hours to get through the airport. And then once we got over to the UK, it was a fiasco with the rental cars. The rental car we had, let's just say the one they picked for us wasn't what we booked, and it had a major failure in the seatbelt system. So we're like, absolutely not. And they didn't have an alternative for us, so we ended up getting this giant Hutterite van, and we're driving it around the back roads of England, which those roads are about this wide. But anyways, yeah, just gorgeous. Top of this castle, Beeston Castle. You can see 8 counties all the way around, just commanding. And over there, it's tough to see because it's kind of hazy, being, I think it's like 29 degrees and probably 90% humidity, but there's another castle like right there, just gorgeous. So I think when we're done here, we're gonna have a quick drive over there and just have a peek. So today we are in Bolsover Castle, absolutely gorgeous. Last night we stayed over in Tibbsdale, just outside of Chesterfield, and probably the world's worst hotel. The hallway smelled like a dog vomited, ate it, and then vomited again. And the beds were, they were like a half-filled water bed. But we managed to get some sleep, get a bit of breakfast in us. It's just a lovely day. It started 19 degrees at about 8 o'clock this morning, and we're expected to get 26. But this is just absolutely gorgeous in here. So let's head inside and check it out.
Kitchen, Mom. This was the serving place.
It's really cool to see lots of the old graffiti. It's etched into the sandstone. This was PS 1822. That's on 1820.
Still see a long way.
Still a pretty commanding view, hey?
Oh, huge.
Forget to look behind us. Look at this. Holy man. These are the old ovens for baking bread. So the funny thing about raising farm kids is we got all the way into the castle keep, and Charlotte up here says, "Hey Dad, I gotta pee." And the toilets are way back here by the entrance. And we got to this beautiful grassy area, and I said, I'll race you. And she said, "Whoa, Dad, stop. Right here." And I said, "What do you mean, right here?" And she started pulling her pants down. She was ready to pee right on the lawn in the middle of this beautiful castle. Nothing like it, I tell you. How beautiful is that? Solid oak doors, this beautiful stone stairway up and into the keep.
You say bigger pants. No, I don't. Or lose weight. Yeah, honey. I'm going to get skinny now off of those. Oh.
Pretty neat. Be the wardroom son.
Have some kind of money to be building this, hey?
Oh.
The view from the castle wall.
So what do we say when we're this high? Charlotte, what do you say?
That's tall.
The king. Ooh, look up there, eh?
You ever here before, Carmen? Yeah, we've been here. Charlotte,
The wainscoting here, holy man, it's unbelievable. But then you look up into the paneling, and the whole entire roof. Is a sight to see, I tell you. Well, good morning. Welcome to Darlington. This is not at all where we intended to stay last night, but we found a lovely hotel called the Premier Inn. Beds are wonderful. There's folks that say that England is cold and damp, but our room was quite warm. I would say probably close to the temperature of the sun, in fact. So I am not well rested today. Again, for another day. Oh, this is the Hutterite van we have too. It's a Volkswagen Transporter. This thing is huge, 9-person, but we're 7 and a pile of luggage. So this in the back here is what we've came with and accumulated since, and then there's 3, maybe 4 more backpacks still in the hotel. So I don't think that was going to fit in anything smaller than one of these. But yesterday, actually, we did go to Revo Abbey, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. Unfortunately, left my phone in the van, so I have no footage of that. But today we're going to run up to Ousby, that's where my dad is from, and then head over to Allenby to the Solway Firth, and a little place called Twentyman's Ice Cream Shop. That's where we would go when I was a kid. We'd go pick seashells off the beach, and if I was lucky, I might get an ice cream from the shop there. But as I said, we hadn't actually intended to stay here in Darlington. I tried to get rooms in a place called Thirsk. Thirsk is kind of it's one of the many gateways to the north. But what's cool about that, especially coming from a farm, is that is the hometown of James Herriot. James Herriot from All Creatures Great and Small. If you haven't heard of him, highly recommend you look him up. Great storyteller from North Yorkshire here. I was mowing the lawn over here, but can't beat the old Great British Camel. What does it look like?
Like our black horse?
Like our black horse? Mm-hmm. Tough to see in there, but they got a white donkey and 2 miniature ponies. We're stopped at what's called Mainsgill Farm. So this is just a working farm where they've got cows and sheep and pigs and obviously donkeys and miniature ponies. But they also opened up a farm market store over in one of their converted buildings. These would have been barns at one point in time. They've turned it into like a rustic house decor store, as well as a garden center, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty good source of revenue. Probably better money than the sheep, that's for sure. Anyways, you can see in the farmyard they got the big John Deere tractor, and looks like the feed mixer, like a bale shredder, low grain bin. They got the side by sides, all the kind of the same stuff that we have. Everything's just more compact and confined here. So you can imagine taking a somewhat underutilized, maybe not utilized at all, old, perhaps even somewhat derelict building, and converting it into just a massive revenue generator alongside the A66, which is a major thoroughfare to the north of England. This fella here's got farm fresh eggs, looks like about 30. I tell you, might need to be made.
You could buy them.
We could buy all these flowers, yeah. I don't think we'd be able to get them back home though. Look, they even got a fake sheep you could put in the garden. In case you live in town and can't have a real one. That's an armchair. See a deer? Oh yeah, look at that. Fruit cakes and meat pies and jams, bread and farm fresh eggs. All the chutneys. Oh man. Look over here. Scotch eggs. And cheeses. So we're here at Clifton Dairy Farm. They got Jersey cows here. We're gonna have some Jersey cow ice cream.
Next time I think I'm gonna get a little milk.
We're here at Lowther Castle. It's an absolutely beautiful castle. But just a shell, because they sold the roof off to the Americans years ago, and everything collapsed inside of itself. Hey Charlotte, do you remember where we are?
No.
We are at a place called Long Meg and Her Daughters. It is a Neolithic stone circle near the village of Little Salkeld in Cumbria. Legend has it that Long Meg was the leader of a witches' coven, and the locals had issues with the livestock down here. So they hired a local wizard named Michael Scott to come. And he cast a spell upon them, and they all turned to stone. And legend tells that if you count all the stones as you go around, every single time, you'll get a different number. Because witches are tricksy like that.
You're allowed on the road.
Well, because they are. As you can see, there's no witches here anymore. Just dairy cows. Less witches, more milk. Who's that behind you, Charlotte?
Yeah, they're tame. Probably a tail butcher.
Friendly old cow.
Look at Grandpa. Well, they've even got the UK on there.
Yeah.
They must not brand them, eh?
They don't brand them. So we've been to Allenby here now. Been to Twentyman's ice cream shop right there. Got some of their world famous ice cream. And I'm just sweating absolute buckets. It's so hot out here. Whereas in Canada we would get a polar vortex. Here in England they're getting a solar vortex. And they actually closed the public toilets, so we had to hightail it 200 yards the other way down to the park so that Charlotte didn't pee her pants. But we made it from one coast to the other coast in one day. That's with 3 kids. That's pretty awesome.